We live in a world today that constantly tells women who they should be. It tells you what beauty looks like. It tells you that your worth is based on how many likes you get, how many people follow you, or how perfect your life looks on a screen. But let me tell you something with absolute clarity. Your value is not determined by the world. Your value is from the one who created you, and he never makes mistakes. Today, I want to speak openly and lovingly about a topic that we need to reflect on deeply. Let us talk about 5 things weak women do. Not to shame anyone, never, but to wake up from the illusions of this world and reconnect with our true purpose. 1. They seek validation from the wrong places, my dear sisters. A weak woman looks to others to tell her she's enough. She waits for compliments, attention, or praise from people, sometimes from men who have no regard for her heart, sometimes from a society that only sees the surface. But a woman of strength knows, if Allah is pleased with me, then it does not matter who is not. Your Creator already declared your worth in the Quran. Why chase approval from people who don't even understand their own worth? 2. They settle for toxic relationships. Sometimes we hear, but I love him. My sister, love that destroys your peace, distances you from Allah, or makes you cry more than smile, that is not love. That is a test. A weak woman allows herself to be mistreated in the name of loyalty. She thinks patience means tolerating emotional or physical abuse. No, your soul was not created to be broken. Leave what harms you. Allah will never abandon you. 3. They obsess over beauty but neglect the heart. Yes, we all want to look presentable. Islam encourages cleanliness and dignity in appearance. But when your entire life revolves around makeup, filters, and fashion trends, while your Quran gathers dust, my sister, what are you feeding your soul with? A strong woman spends time beautifying her character, her speech, her manners, her connection with Allah. Because she knows, outer beauty fades, but the nur of Taqwa only grows. 4. They compromise their values for temporary gains. We see it far too often, abandoning modesty for likes, posting what shouldn't be posted, going to places that darken the soul. Why? Because everyone else is doing it. But a strong woman says, even if I am the only one obeying Allah, I will still obey him. This world is temporary. Don't trade your Jannah for a few moments of attention. My dear sisters, one of the clearest signs of a weakened soul is when a woman begins to look for validation from places that were never meant to fill her. She starts relying on the opinions of others to determine her value. She waits for someone to say, you're beautiful, you're worthy, or you matter, before she believes it herself. And what happens when that praise doesn't come? What happens when the world goes silent, or worse, when it criticizes, mocks, or ignores her? She feels broken. She feels empty, because the foundation she built her confidence on was never stable in the first place. You see, when you attach yourself worth to people, their compliments, their attention, their approval, you are handing over your heart to something that is temporary, inconsistent, and flawed. Today, many women are in silent pain because they scroll through social media, seeing filtered faces and fake lives, and start questioning their own worth. Why am I not like her? Why don't I look like that? Why don't I have what she has? They start chasing a version of themselves that's not even real. They start dressing, acting, even speaking in ways that please others, but not themselves, and certainly not their Creator. Sisters, it is exhausting to live for people, because people change, their moods change, their opinions change. What they love today, they criticize tomorrow. You will never win trying to impress the world. And so, the woman who constantly needs praise from a man to feel beautiful, or the one who needs attention on her posts to feel important, she is starving for a type of love that no human being can truly give her. Only Allah can. What's worse is that this constant need for validation can lead to dangerous compromises. She might post something inappropriate because it gets more likes. She might stay in a relationship that dishonors her just because she's afraid of feeling unseen. She might silence her faith to fit in with a crowd that only claps when she entertains them. The danger is not just in the need to be seen. The real danger is when a woman begins to believe that she is only worthy if others see her, praise her, want her. But let me ask you this, my sister. What about the women who are never seen by the world, but are known by Allah? What about the ones who serve quietly, give generously, love sincerely, dress modestly without ever asking for applause? Do you think they are forgotten? No, their value is beyond what eyes can see, because it is rooted in something eternal. If the entire world applauds you, but Allah is displeased with you, what have you gained? But if the world forgets you, criticizes you, mocks you, yet Allah knows your worth and raises your rank, what have you lost? Validation that comes from people is like perfume, nice for a moment, but it fades. Validation that comes from Allah is like light. It guides you, protects you, and never needs to be switched off. So, my beloved sister, if you've been chasing validation in the wrong places, pause, reflect, recenter your heart. Ask yourself, whose approval do I truly live for? My dear sisters, one of the greatest tragedies of our time is seeing a woman with so much value, so much light, and so much potential settling for relationships that break her more than they build her. She tells herself it's okay, he'll change. She tells herself this is what love feels like. She convinces herself that her silence is patience, her pain is loyalty, and her tears are just part of the sacrifice. But deep down, her heart knows something is not right. The sad reality is, a weak woman often settles for what hurts her because she's afraid of what might happen if she walks away. She fears being alone, she fears being judged, she fears starting over, so she stays in a relationship that chips away at her dignity, damages her self-esteem, and distances her from Allah. Toxic relationships aren't always loud. Sometimes they are subtle, slow, and quiet. It starts with control disguised as care, jealousy disguised as love, possessiveness disguised as protection, and before she realizes it, she's lost her voice. She can't speak her truth. She can't breathe without seeking permission. My dear sister, let's be very clear. Love is not supposed to confuse you. Love is not supposed to make you question your worth. Love is not meant to push you away from your family, your values, or your deen. When a relationship makes you feel like you're not enough, like you constantly need to prove yourself, or like you're walking on eggshells, that's not love. That's control, that's harm, and harm is not part of a believer's way. Sometimes she stays because he says, no one will love you like I do. But the truth is, no one should love you like that. No one should love you in a way that wounds you, isolates you, belittles you, or suffocates your soul. Because real love, true love, is rooted in mercy, in patience, in mutual respect, and most importantly, in a shared journey toward Allah. And it's not only romantic relationships. Some women stay in toxic friendships, family dynamics, or social circles that eat away at their peace. A weak woman accepts that toxicity as normal. She tells herself, this is just how things are. She carries emotional burdens that were never hers to carry, just to keep others happy. But my sister, you were not created to be someone's emotional punching bag. You were not created to be anyone's slave. You were not created to tolerate pain in the name of patience, while your soul silently withers. And often, these toxic relationships leave deep spiritual scars. Because in trying to please others, you slowly start forgetting to please Allah. You make excuses for haram because he loves me. You delay salah because he wants to talk. You stop wearing hijab because he prefers your hair showing. And before you know it, your heart feels hollow because you've let go of the one who never stopped loving you. Let's be honest, it takes strength to walk away. It takes strength to say, I deserve better. It takes courage to say, if this relationship costs me my connection with Allah, it's too expensive. But a weak woman, she settles. She fears the unknown more than she fears the slow death of her dignity. And sadly, the longer she stays, the more she begins to confuse her reflection with the lies she's been told. You're difficult. You're too sensitive. No one will understand you. You can't survive without me. Those are not the words of a partner. Those are the weapons of manipulation. And manipulation is not love. My dear sisters, there's nothing wrong with wanting to look presentable. Islam encourages cleanliness, elegance, and dignity in how we carry ourselves. A woman who keeps herself clean and neat is praised in both Deen and Dunya. But when the focus on outer appearance becomes the only focus, when it becomes an obsession, when it starts to define your identity, your worth, your entire sense of self, then it becomes a form of weakness, not strength. Today, we are living in a time where beauty is treated like a currency. It is something to be flaunted, displayed, marketed, and sold. From makeup tutorials to body trends, from filters to surgeries, the pressure is overwhelming. It's not just about looking good anymore. It's about looking better than the next woman. And so, the weak woman falls into this trap. She begins to spend hours in front of the mirror, but barely minutes in front of the Quran. She invests in high-end skincare, but neglects the skin of her heart, the one that's meant to shine with sincerity, humility, and love for Allah. She makes sure her eyebrows are perfectly shaped, but her manners are harsh. Her nails are polished, but her words are sharp. Her pictures glow, but her prayers are missing. Let me ask you something, dear sister. What is the point of being admired by everyone on earth, but being unknown in the heavens? What is the point of receiving compliments for your figure, your face, your fashion, while your character is forgotten, your tongue hurts others, and your soul feels empty? You were created with a purpose far greater than looking pretty. Your face may attract people, but your your character, is what draws the angels near. The world sees what you wear, but Allah sees what you carry inside your chest. He looks at your heart, not your handbag. He measures your intention, not your image. And let's not forget, this obsession with beauty is not only exhausting, it's never ending. Today it's one style, tomorrow it's another. One day you're too thin, the next day you're not curvy enough. One day they praise you, the next day they pick you apart. You will never satisfy this dunya, but the weak woman keeps trying. She keeps comparing herself, keeps competing, keeps chasing this ever-moving target. Why? Because somewhere deep down she believes that her value is on the outside, not on the inside. And social media has made it even harder. You scroll for 5 minutes, and suddenly you feel ugly, unaccomplished, behind in life. You start asking, why don't I look like her? But you forget. Maybe she looks that way because she spends her life trying to look perfect, not trying to be sincere. Maybe her photos are perfect, but her reality is painful. Maybe you're comparing your raw, honest life to someone's carefully edited highlights. Dear sister, you don't need to look like anyone else. You need to look like you, the version of you that Allah created, modest, graceful, honest, God-conscious. You don't need to be flawless, you need to be faithful. You don't need to glow with highlighter, you need to shine with taqwa. And don't get me wrong, outer beauty is a gift. But it is not a guarantee. Beauty fades, skin wrinkles, hair turns gray, bodies change. The beauty that lasts is the one that is planted in your soul, nurtured by hikr, watered by salah, and protected by modesty and self-respect. We have examples from our Islamic history, women who never had Instagram followers, who never posted selfies, who didn't wear designer brands, but their names are remembered centuries later. Because their hearts were beautiful, their character was noble, and their sincerity was priceless. What made them radiant wasn't their eyeliner, it was their iman. What made them inspiring wasn't their fashion, it was their submission to the commands of their Lord. My dear sisters, one of the signs of a weak heart is when a woman begins to trade her principles for things that will not last, not because she is evil, Not because she wants to displease Allah, but because she is trying to survive in a world that constantly tells her, if you don't bend your morals, you'll be left behind. And so, little by little, she starts giving up what once made her strong. She loosens the boundaries she once held firm. She silences her conscience. She starts saying things like, it's just once, it's just a photo, it's just a job, it's not that serious. But what starts as just once becomes a habit. What starts as a small compromise becomes a major shift in identity. And before she realizes it, she's become someone she no longer recognizes, chasing things she once told herself she didn't need. Many women today are pressured to choose between their deen and their dunya, their faith or their fame, their modesty or their money, their values or their validation. And sadly, some do choose the latter, thinking, if I cover, I won't get this job. If I speak the truth, I'll lose my followers. If I don't laugh at this, they'll think I'm boring. This is how the world works. It offers you the glitter of success, popularity, wealth, beauty, and opportunities, but always at a price. And that price, for many weak women, becomes their principles. But what they fail to realize is this: anything that forces you to lose your connection with Allah is not a gain, it's a loss dressed as a win. A woman may get the promotion, but lose her modesty. She may get the followers, but lose her sincerity. She may get the relationship, but lose her peace. And slowly she begins to feel this weight inside, this inner conflict between who she knows she's supposed to be and who the world is pushing her to become. A weak woman compromises because she's afraid to miss out. She thinks, if I don't accept this now, I'll never get another chance. But let me remind you, dear sister, what is written for you will come to you in a way that does not require you to disobey Allah to get it. It will not humiliate you, it will not damage your soul, it will not cost you your values, your risk, your sustenance, your provision, your success is not in the hands of people. It is in the hands of the one who created you. So why compromise for people who can neither benefit nor harm you, when the one who controls your entire destiny is watching? Sometimes the test is not in hardship, the test is in temptation. Will you sacrifice your values to fit in? Will you lower your standards to be loved? Will you change your appearance, your words, your lifestyle, just to be accepted? And yes, it can be lonely to hold onto your deen in a world that constantly pushes you to let go. It can be isolating to say, no, I will not cross that line, while everyone else is running past it. But remember, strength is not measured by how many people accept you, it's measured by how many temptations you resist to stay true to Allah. The Prophet RFD said there will come a time when holding onto your religion will be like holding onto a burning coal. This is that time, and while a weak woman drops the coal because it's too hot, a strong woman holds it tight, knowing that the burn of patience today is better than the fire of regret tomorrow. My sister, every time you compromise a piece of your soul for a piece of this world, ask yourself, what am I really gaining? And what am I slowly losing? My dear sisters, fear is a powerful emotion. It can protect us, alert us to danger, and help us survive. But when fear begins to control you, when it becomes the lens through which you view the world, the filter through which you make your choices, then that fear becomes a prison. And a woman who lives inside that prison cannot live in strength, because every step she takes is no longer guided by faith, but by fear. A weak woman allows fear to take the steering wheel of her life. She fears what people will say more than she fears what Allah will think. She fears rejection more than she fears disobedience. She fears loneliness more than she fears sin. And so, her decisions are shaped not by purpose, but by panic. She may stay in a harmful relationship not because she believes it's right, but because she fears being alone. She may avoid wearing the hijab, not because she lacks knowledge, but because she fears judgment, comments, and the reactions of society. She may avoid speaking the truth, not because she agrees with falsehood, but because she fears conflict or losing her comfort. Fear makes her silent when she should speak. Fear makes her stay when she should leave. Fear makes her hide when she was born to rise. And here's the thing, fear never comes alone, it brings with it 1,000 what-ifs. What if I fail? What if I lose them? What if they laugh? What if I never find better? But let me tell you, dear sister, every one of those what-ifs comes from Shaitan. He whispers not to protect you, but to paralyze you. He wants you to believe that safety lies in silence, not in courage. He wants you to believe that disobeying Allah is safer than disappointing people. But this is a lie, because fear based on people will always trap you, while fear rooted in Taqwa will set you free. Look at the women of true strength, not the ones idolized by the world, but the ones raised by Allah. Look at Asiya Rahimaha Allah, the wife of Pharaoh, a woman surrounded by power, by luxury, by palaces. But when she saw the truth, she chose to stand for it. She feared no man, not even her tyrant husband, because her heart was anchored in her Lord. She said, "My Lord, build for me near you a house in paradise, and not save me from loneliness, and not keep me safe in this Dunya, but build for me with you." That's strength. That's courage. That's what it means to live without fear of the creation, because you're attached to the Creator. A weak woman, on the other hand, tries to keep everyone happy except her own soul. She tiptoes around truth. She agrees with what she doesn't believe. She smiles when her heart wants to cry, just to keep the peace. She says yes when she should say no. She allows others to define her path, because she's afraid of standing alone. But know this, your silence will not save you. The things you avoid because you're afraid, they still affect you. The decisions you delay out of fear, they still shape your destiny. And sometimes not deciding is the most dangerous decision of all. Fear will always exist, that's human, but the strong woman feels fear and chooses faith anyway. She trusts in Allah's promise. She understands that strength doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means not being ruled by it. It means saying, "Ya Allah, I am scared, but I trust you more than I fear anything else." My dear sisters, one of the most subtle but dangerous forms of weakness in a woman's heart is when she allows envy to take root. She sees another woman succeed, and instead of saying Alhamdulillah or Masha'Allah, something inside her begins to whisper, "Why not me?" She sees someone else's beauty, her marriage, her children, her home, her business, and instead of making dua for her, she begins to question her own worth. It starts quietly, a quick scroll on social media, a friend's promotion, a cousin's wedding, a sister's growing platform. And the weak heart begins to compare. She's not even that special. She probably had help. If I had what she had, I would have done better. Instead of celebrating her sister, she criticizes her. Instead of admiring her, she minimizes her. Instead of supporting her, she distances herself out of bitterness. But my dear sister, remember this. Envy doesn't harm the other woman, it harms you. It poisons your own heart. It clouds your vision. It ruins your ability to be grateful for what Allah has already given you. Because, no matter how much you have, envy will keep telling you it's not enough, until you're left bitter, empty, and spiritually disconnected. A woman who envies is not truly upset at the other woman. She is upset at Allah's distribution. She's questioning His wisdom. Why did you give her that, and not me? But Allah is Al-Adl, the most just. He knows what you need and when you need it. And if He withheld something from you, it's not because He forgot you. It's because He's protecting you or preparing you in ways you may not understand right now. Envy is also a sign that a woman sees her sisters as competitors instead of companions. She views life as a race. If someone else is ahead, then she must be behind. But what she forgets is that Allah's rizq is not a pie where if someone gets a slice, there's less for everyone else. No, Allah's treasures are infinite, His mercy is vast, His provisions are overflowing. What is written for you will find you not faster, not slower, but at the perfect time. You do not need to hate someone's light to make your own shine brighter. Real strength is when a woman can lift others without lowering herself. It's when she can look at her sister and say from the heart, MashaAllah, may Allah bless her and grant me what is best for me too. And the irony is, when you genuinely support others, when you make sincere dua for their success, angels make the same dua for you. Can you imagine? You see your sister blessed, and instead of letting jealousy eat away at you, you say, Ya Allah, increase her. And the angels say, and may Allah increase you the same. Subhanallah, this is how a strong woman wins, not by competing but by connecting, not by comparing but by collaborating, not by envying but by empowering. A weak woman feels insecure when another woman rises, but a strong woman knows someone else's success does not mean your failure. Someone else's beauty does not take away from yours. Someone else's blessing does not threaten what is meant for you. You are on your own journey, you are walking your own path, and what Allah has written for you, no soul can stop it, delay it, or take it from you. Would you now like me to compile the full speech, all 6 expanded points, into a single, formatted speech document in this same Mufti style tone?